What's up, everyone? Batcraft. That's right, it's Bo here from TVTalk. And I don't know if you caught it, but this week we did something kind of different. We actually did our TVTalk podcast in Minecraft as we were coming up with ideas for Batcraft. So if you want to hear our review of the Batman, you can check it out here on the channel, or you could also check out the podcast. TVTalk.fm is the place to do it. But yeah, so between last time and this time that I've been here on Batcraft with you, a lot of things have happened. In fact, so many things that this is going to I don't know, we just got a lot of things to update about. So for one thing, and I really should have mentioned this last week, but I believe it was none other than Knight who ordered this awesome Hurt Locker poster from Fox, and it looks incredible. Have y'all seen this? Look at that. That is just awesome. So my props go out to them. I think they did a fantastic job with this. And I mean, I was so kind of engrossed with our Sleep No More, or rather our McKittrick Hotel build and kind of the Sleep No More sign and everything else. I completely ran out of time to really go into this. And I just think they did an awesome job with this. So big shout outs, big thank you for that. I think it's awesome. It really ties our whole theater together, especially now that we've kind of got the big movie signs, and then we've got some other movie posters down here as well. So awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I always love that, the city, as the city kind of comes together, we can kind of incorporate some different things that have happened are from different Batcrafters and that sort of thing. It's, we've got kind of Gotham as our big team build, but we're partners in many other respects as well. After all, this land wouldn't be here if not for Kyle. If not for Kyle. There it is. I love that thing. Okay, so a few other things I need to show off. You probably already noticed this one right here, but we'll talk about that in a second. This Sleep No More in the McKittrick Hotel, we kind of made a joke because somebody put sheep up there, and I turned it, I kind of said to die to sleep to sheep no more. Well, I realized, this would be a great place to put our wool farming, and that is exactly what we have done. All of our sheep are up here. We've got them all breeded and all the various multicolors, basically all except for whites, because we can get that from string. And this is a very, it's a very productive wool farm. We've got more than we will ever need, and it doesn't even make sense to sell it because other people sell wool, and so now we just have a ton of wool for probably no reason, but we've got it. We'll never run out of it. And what I've done is, while, obviously the interior is not done per se, in these doors, in these kind of main doors, you go through and you can kind of get the wool. But if you take this route and you go up here, it kind of winds around, which is, very McKittrick Hotel. Then you've got the kind of the back end where if we need to, we can go through, we can put some more shears in, and we'll be set and ready to go. So yeah, I like how this turned out. I like that we're using these buildings for different functions. I don't think any of them are not serving a function right now, except for the New Orleans condo building. That one, that one's just serving the function of making me feel good. That's it. And that's okay. But yeah, so we got our wool going right here. We've got our mob farm right here. We've got our cocoa beans over here. We've got kind of living space over here. We've got our storage over here. We've got our food production and also kind of our emerald farm over here. We've got our breeding going on over here for our villagers. And we've got this. Oh yeah, and brewing is happening here. In fact, we've actually got two bartenders. I need to come up with some good names for them. They're sleeping on the job right now. But we've got two bartenders here at the City of York pub. And yeah, so when we work on the interior there, we'll get them set up. But for the most part, we're good to go. Is that a creeper? No, that's grass. My bad. Anyways, so yes, as I was saying, everything is serving its purpose. We've got this building right here. Now, I have never really liked how this turned out from a lot of different angles. And so I am thinking about doing something that I think an earlier version of me would never have done. Like, I think I finally have reached a point in my Minecrafting kind of skill set where I'm ready to absolutely destroy something rather large that I've built just for the sole purpose of it's not quite right. So yeah, this is probably going away. And I'm thinking I'm going to put like a big corporate office, kind of a taller tower, nothing major in its place. But I'm thinking that's what has to happen here. The cactus farm, is going to need to go somewhere, and I'm not sure how or where or why exactly. Might see how much space, if this takes up, if the kind of the corporate office I have in mind takes up the rest of the space, or if there's still a little something for like a tall, maybe a thin, similar to this, but better cactus farm. I don't know. But anyway, right now I've been kind of AFKing a bit, getting all the cactus that I need, because we're going to be tearing this tower down. With everything that we've been working on today, that bad boy is coming down. Now, okay, so this right here. We have a bridge. As I mentioned before, I was going to be working on this off camera. And in fact, I have, because I've made now a double road coming out of the mountain and in the direction of Gotham City. We will be making for ourselves a tunnel. Whoops, ouch, that hurt. We're going to be making for ourselves a tunnel right here, and probably a sign that says like to Gotham City or Gotham City X amount of miles or whatever it may be. That's going to go up there. And the idea is that this is kind of the crossways. This is going to be the way in which you get to Gotham from our New York town. And I was thinking about how that makes sense, because of course over here it goes into a cave. But what I'm going to do, and I don't know, whatever, I can't quite get these curves right. So I think what I'm doing is I'm going to have it go into the cave, and then I'm going to do kind of a similar cave right here with a road going out that'll connect with the city. And that is going to be how it kind of makes sense. Maybe, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but to me it makes sense. And yeah, it just kind of is what it is. And of course with all this, we moved our prime truck. What used to be our starter base is now moved over here and is making its way from Gotham City into New York town. I did some minor changes to the design. You may notice them, you may not. That's perfectly fine. But regardless, I think it's looking good. And with this, kind of comes an end to the starter base. I've completely moved it from over here to over here and completely emptied out everything that was inside. As you can see, there's literally nothing in there. And moved it all into the main base area, which the entire city really is my main base. But specifically, ouch, storage is where it needs to be. Okay, so a couple of things, like I said, that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be tearing this tower down. We are also going to be doing a little kind of touch-ups here and there. I've got this idea of something I want to do this episode. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to it or not, but it is my hope that we will. So probably shouldn't set it up since I don't yet know what it is. But look at that. I love that. Yeah, I like the effect. I know it's just kind of like it gets smaller, smaller, smaller the way that it's built, but it does look like the road is going into the cave and into the mountain. So I'm pretty pleased, all things considered. What I would like to do beyond all that, though, is I would like to go into Gotham today and build out the second phase of the City Hall building. Because this past week, I, like perhaps many of you, saw the Batman. Or maybe you didn't, because I don't know. I don't know. I saw the Batman, and I am in full-on Batman mode. I have got Bat Fever, I've got Batmania, and I am really ready to get done with kind of the basic projects in Gotham and really get to the more Gotham-y Gotham type of projects, Like the City Hall's great, but we need Wayne Tower, we need Wayne Manor, we need the Batcave, we need all the things, and we need to make things more Batman. And that is my goal this episode, is to make things more Batman. We need this Batcraft to be battier than it ever has been. And that's what's going to happen this week. So, we're going to jump into the time lapse. We're going to see what all gets accomplished in the time lapse, and then we'll pick up from there. All right, you ready? We're going to be tearing down, we're going to be building up. Let's go. All right, so we're taking a quick break from the build because I noticed something. That up there. Also because I was having some issues with the clock, but I got it all figured out. Anyway, this right here. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. You see it? You see it up there on the cliff? I think Mumbo Jumbo is going to sue somebody. Now, if we didn't already know that the mustachioed bandit was Dr. Alien, I think we definitely know now. I mean, we knew it now anyway because of Belshack's great detective work. But yeah, Dr. Alien has a bit of a habit of paying, we'll say homage. We'll be generous and say paying homage to other SMPs and other content creators. And this definitely fits the bill of something very recognizable that I've seen from, let's just say another prominent SMP. In fact, here we go. Look at this. Mustache-based, inspired by Grian MC and the Mumbo Jumbo, or that Mumbo Jumbo. So there you go. See, he pays homage, but at least he gives credit where credit's due. So, is what it is. Anyway, point is that clearly he has established himself with these kind of headquarters here. Ooh, I like this fireplace. Now, see, that's cool. I like that a lot. But anyway, so he's got this whole setup going on. And I would be concerned, because we've been watching the mustachioed bandit as a villain. However, from latest reports we're hearing is that he might have actually switched sides, that he's not necessarily a villain, but is perhaps an anti-hero and somebody who is actually keeping watch over Gotham, not as, for villainous or nefarious purposes, but in an effort to help and support the city. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this mustachioed man, because if it's true, then maybe we need to invite him to the League of Heroes. So we'll need to keep an eye out. I mean, the big problem is, of course, that Dr. Alien does have some sort of multiple personalities, possibly even like multiple versions of himself running around. We're still unsure as to what's going on with him. But the part of his personality that wants to be the mustachioed man, well, that's when we want to help. And we want to help Dr. Alien in general. I mean, he's been crying out for help, right? Like, I've got an idea for something that we could potentially do that might help him get his mind kind of harmonized and in unification, and maybe bring him back fully to the good doctor that we know him to be. So we'll have to see. I'll need to talk with Bell because this has been his case, but maybe it's something we might be able to team up on and see if we can bring, the mustachioed man into the League of Heroes. Now, something else has happened, too, while I've been working on this. I realized that between, heroic cases that we've got going on around Gotham and everything else, there's just so much going on, not to mention my own base, and then trying to get, these municipal buildings and everything up and running. I just don't think I have time to run for mayor. Like, I was going to, and I was kind of excited to, but then as I thought about it more and more, I thought, I've got so much on my plate. I don't think I would be a very good mayor. And so I have announced it officially, and I will go ahead and say it here and now and make it clear. I am no longer running for mayor, and I am pouring my full support behind Kyle. I am going to unite behind Kyle for mayor. I believe this was my sign. But I'm voting Kyle. To be fair, we didn't do that much by way of campaigning, so it's really easy to just kind of end our run. So there you go. All right, so I'm no longer running for mayor, and I secede all of my support and voters and say go vote for Kyle. That's the way to go. He's got my support, definitely. He's a straight shooter, yeah, and he will not fail our city. So there you go. All right. Now, as I was doing before, I need to kind of get back on this. As you can kind of see, in fact, let's see, since we've taken a little bit of a break, we're taking a little bit of a pause here, might as well take a quick look at what we've done. So the idea here is that we're adding kind of this roof layer right here, and then also putting up a clock tower. For one thing, it was a suggestion that Will had that this be a clock tower, and I think that's actually a really great idea, and so that's good. The other thing is that we want to make sure that we are covering up the voting booth, which of course is on the other side there. So that kind of serves both purposes as well. We'll put a little bit of detail up at the top. I was thinking maybe put like 2 smokestacks or chimneys right here. I don't know. We've got these 2 right here, and I'll probably just kind of move them up there or something like that. And then also we will eventually extend this here, although we probably won't get to that today because on the top side, we're kind of splitting up both of these sections to be two different things. This one is going to be the Gotham PD, the GCPD, which is going to be, an important place, especially as we do, have all these villains out here running about. We want to make sure that we've got our, police commissioner established, and that person is kind of helping to make things right. And then over here is going to be the mayor's office. And so we'll need to, I haven't quite figured out what the design for this is going to be. I have for this, it's going to be very simple. It's not going to be as intricate as the other side, but you'll see here in a minute what that's going to look like. We've got our voting booth in the center. And then down here, I was thinking that this was the Postmaster General's office. Ooh, that's not, you know what? No, that's just staff. This is the Postmaster General's office. We'll be right here. So at the very least, we are prepared to an extent to have 3 kind of primary positions in the city. So we're breaking apart kind of that city manager that Fox has been. Although we might keep, you know what? Actually, I don't know. I guess it's up to whoever becomes mayor if they decide they want to keep Fox on for city manager. That might make a lot of sense. But anyway, if that's the case, it'll be like, city manager and mayor will have this office. GCPD will have that. And then we'll need a commissioner for the GCPD. We'll need a postmaster general down below. And it is up to the mayor. But I would suggest one of the Postmaster General's duties is to maintain both the bank and make sure that we're waxing up our doors here. See, right there? Yeah? Uh-huh. There we go. So like the doors need to be waxed, and so maybe having the Postmaster General on top of that. And then also the voting booth on occasion will need to be reset. And I think I showed it off, but I've got this fully automated now where if there was any votes, you press this and then it just automatically cleans out and all that kind of good stuff. And up here at the top, yeah, I've got new votes or, new ballots or whatever you want to call them ready to be refilled for whenever we have a new vote and that sort of thing. So the system is all ready. It just needs to be managed. And I was thinking maybe the Postmaster General could be in charge of that because, what does the Postmaster General do? Really, we've already got the mail set up, so it's just a glorified janitor, at least here in Gotham. But yeah, anyway, that was just a thought. All right, let's get the exterior for the GCPD side of the City Hall building done. And I think, it's a lot. I know it probably doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. Let's jump into it. Let's jump back into it. Let's go. And like so many builds before it, the Gotham Central Police Department is not quite done. It's close. It's as close as it's going to be this episode. That is definitely the truth right here. But as you can see, it's a kind of a simple design. It's a little boxier than I would have preferred, but I'm going to kind of maybe give it a little bit of a lip over here and maybe do some details, or maybe I'll leave it up to whomever is named our police commissioner. So whoever is going to be the commissioner here can really kind of put any kind of finishing touches on it. And they can also come in and decorate the interior. Now, I had kind of an idea of like, what if, this could be a little holding cell area, which could be kind of cool. And then maybe we have like some stairs going down into like a kind of a small commissioner's office where the commissioner could look outside and see what's going on in the shopping district. And that way you got Crime Alley right outside the window, which is nice. And then I don't know what they'd end up doing, but that's really up for the commissioner to decide. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is, this is not done. Phase 2 is not the final phase of our City Hall building. Like, we've got a lot going on here, though. Really, we need to give some thought here to the fact that there's a lot going on with the City Hall building. It is our bank. It's got all of the wealth of Gotham right there. It is our post office. It's got all of our mail and everything going on. It now has the police It's got kind of our law enforcement officers now updated and right on this side. And so on this side is where, like I mentioned before, we're going to have the mayoral office. But I'm thinking that this may look hopefully a little bit different than the GCPD. You know, like these might look like two separate buildings, whereas on the opposite side, everything definitely looks like it's interconnected. Whoop, as one building. So yeah. Oh, I really do like how the clock tower turned out. Oop. Hello. I liked how the clock tower turned out. I think that's going well. You know, the building really is a little two-faced. Now that's not intentional. It just kind of is what it is. I mean, yeah. I mean, our DA's office will probably be in there as well. And on this side, it's all nice. And on the other side, it's not all nice. It is a little two-faced. Yeah, that is completely unintentional. But I'm glad it happened. That worked out really, yeah. Sometimes just a plan comes together. You know, I was looking over here at the lot, and I've been thinking about a lot of things. Since we have gotten our sheep no more system working, we now have tons of wool. We could theoretically fill this thing up. But this right here is the sole diamond I have ever made on the wool cart, the wool van, our little ice cream truck as it is. Yeah. So I'm thinking that this thing is going to have to go. I hate to say it because I really love it. I might just drive it back to New Yorktown, you know? I mean, I guess all of these vehicles are going to be in New Yorktown to some extent, like in various locations. Just like we moved kind of our prime moving van, all of these will find a home both here and there. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, you know what? Look at this. We've got this whole space that I haven't used yet. Now it's kind of covered. It's kind of in the back. And since there is really no high demand for wool, I'm wondering if maybe I should just move this. Maybe I'll keep it here. Maybe I'll stock it up with all the wool, come up with a nice price, something competitive. You know, I hate to undercut the competition, but you know, we gotta sell some wool. We gotta move some string. So we can move that over here, which would be nice. And then there's a couple of knick-knacky items that are not currently for sale that I've got in abundance, and I think there could be a market for. And so we might end up moving that here, or putting a new vehicle right here. And I think I've got a good idea as to what that can be. But first, as night starts falling upon us, I think it's time we do the only thing we can. Now, as I mentioned, my goal this episode was to get Batcraft not just on brand, but more Batty than ever. And that is exactly what we're about to do. Because right now, as the night descends upon us,